Hello. The next book that we will read today is called Horton Hatches the Egg by Dr. Seuss. Sighed Maisie, a lazy bird hatching an egg. I'm tired and I'm bored, and I've nicks in my leg from just sitting here day after day. It's work. How I hate it. I'd much rather play. I'd take a vacation, fly off for a rest, if I could find someone to stay on my nest. If I could find someone, I'd fly away free. See her looking? Then Horton the elephant passed by her tree. Hello, called the lazy bird, smiling her best. You've nothing to do, and I do need a rest. Would you like to sit on the egg in my nest? The elephant laughed. Why, of all silly things, I haven't feathers and I haven't wings. Me on your egg? Why, that doesn't make sense. Your egg is so small, ma'am, and I'm so immense. Tut tut, answered Maisie. I know you're not small, but I'm sure you can do it. No trouble at all. Just sit on it softly. You're gentle and kind. Come, be a good fellow. I know you won't mind. I can't, said the elephant. Please, begged the bird. I won't be gone long, sir. I give you my word. I'll hurry right back. Why, I'll never be missed. See them talking to each other? Very well, said the elephant, since you insist. You want a vacation, go fly off and take it. I'll sit on your egg, and I'll try not to break it. I'll stay and be faithful, I mean what I say. Toodaloo, sang out Maisie, and fluttered away. See, she flew away. The first thing to do, murmured Horton. Let's see. The first thing to do is prop up this tree and make it much stronger. That has to be done. Before I get on it, I must weigh a ton. He's preparing the tree for him to sit. Then carefully, tenderly, gently he crept up the trunk to the nest where the little egg slept. Then walking up to get on the egg. Then Horton the elephant smiled. Now that's that. And he sat, and he sat, and he sat, and he sat. He's sitting on the egg. And he sat all that day, and he kept the egg warm. And he sat all that night through a terrible storm. It poured in it lightning. It thundered, it rumbled. This isn't much fun, the poor elephant grumbled. I wish she'd come back, 'cause I'm cold and I'm wet. I hope that Maisie bird doesn't forget. Look at Horton in that weather. But Maisie, by this time, was far beyond reach, enjoying the sunshine way off in Palm Beach, and having such fun, such a wonderful rest, decided she'd never go back to her nest. You see her in the top of that tree? So Horton kept sitting there day after day, and soon it was autumn, the leaves blew away, and then came to winter, the snow and the sleet, and icicles hung from his trunk and his feet. But Horton kept sitting and said with a sneeze, "I'll stay on this egg and I won't let it freeze. I meant what I said and I said what I meant. An elephant's faithful 100%. Look at him, oh no, he's so cold, but he's sitting to keep the egg warm. So poor Horton sat there the whole winter through. And then came the springtime with troubles anew. His friends gathered round and they shouted with glee, "Look, Horton the elephant up in a tree." They taunted, they teased him. They yelled, "How absurd! Oh, Horton the elephant thinks he's a bird." You see him laughing at him? Poor Horton. They laughed and they laughed. Then they all ran away. And Horton was lonely. He wanted to play. But he sat on the egg and continued to say, "I meant what I said and I said what I meant. An elephant's faithful 100%. See? As he's sitting there waiting even though they make fun of him. No matter what happened, this egg must be tended. But poor Horton's troubles was far from ended. For while Horton sat there, so faithful, so kind, 3 hunters came sneaking up softly behind. Look at the hunters. They coming behind Horton. He doesn't know. He heard the men's footsteps. He turned with a start. 3 rifles were aiming right straight at his heart. Oh no. The guns aiming at him. Oh no. Did he run? He did not. Horton stayed on that nest. He held his head high and he threw out his chest. And he looked at the hunters as much as to say, "Shoot if you must, but I won't run away. I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. An elephant's faithful 100%. Even though they're aiming at him, he won't move. But the men didn't shoot, much to Horton's surprise. They dropped their 3 guns and they stared with wide eyes. "Look," they all shouted. "Can such a thing be? An elephant sitting on top of a tree. It's strange, it's amazing, it's wonderful, new. Don't shoot him, we'll catch him. That's just what we'll do. Let's take him alive. Why, he's terribly funny. We'll sell him back home to a circus for money." See the hunters making their plan about Horton. And the first thing he knew, they had built a wagon with ropes on the front for the pullers to drag on. They dug up his tree and they put it inside, with Horton so sad that he practically cried. "We're off," the men shouted, and off they all went, with Horton unhappy 100%. You see me looking surprised. Up out of the jungle, up into the sky, up over the mountains 10,000 feet high. Then down the mountains and down to the sea, with the cart with the elephant, egg, nest, and tree. You see him traveling? Then out of the wagon and onto a ship, out over the ocean, and ooh, what a trip, rolling and tossing and splashed with the spray. And Horton said day after day after day, I meant what I said and I said what I meant. But oh, am I seasick 100%. See Horton, he's getting seasick on the boat, but he stayed. After bobbing around for 2 weeks like a cork, they landed at last in the town of New York. All ashore, the men shouted, and down with the lurch, when Horton the elephant still owned his perch. Tied onto a board that could just scarcely hold him, bump, Horton landed, and then the men sold him. See that? They sold Horton. He's getting the money. Sold to a circus, then week after week, they showed him to people at 10 cents a peek. They took him to Boston, to Kalamazoo, Chicago, Weehawken, and Washington too. To Dayton, Ohio, St. Paul, Minnesota, to Wichita, Kansas, to Drake, North Dakota. And everywhere thousands of folks flocked to see and laughed at the elephant up in the tree. Poor Horton grew sadder the farther he went. But he said as he sat in the hot, noisy tent, I meant what I said and I said what I meant. An elephant's faithful 100%. Even though people are talking about him, he still faithful in the tree. Then one day the circus show happened to reach a town way down south, not so far from Palm Beach. And dwelling alone way up in the sky, who of all people should chance to fly by? But that old good-for-nothing bird, Runaway Maisie, still on vacation and still just as lazy. And spying the flags and the tents just below, she sang out, "What fun, while I'll go to the show." See the circus you see here? She's flying and seeing all that stuff. And she swooped from the clouds through an open tent door. "Good gracious," gasped Maisie, "I've seen you before." Poor Horton looked up with a face white as chalk. He started to speak, but before he could talk, see that she see Horton. Then rang out the noisiest ear-splitting squeak from the egg that he sat on for 51 weeks. A thumping, a bumping, a wild, alive scratching. "My egg," shouted Horton, "my egg, why it's hatching." See that, the egg. "But it's mine," screamed the bird when she heard the egg crack. The work was all done, now she wanted it back. "It's my egg," she sputtered. "You stole it from me. Get off my nest and get out of my tree." Poor Horton backed down with his sad, heavy heart. Poor Horton. But at the very instant the egg burst apart, and out of the pieces of red and white shell from the egg that he sat on so long and so well, Horton the elephant saw something whiz. It had ears and a tail and a trunk just like his. Look at Horton and look at the baby that came out the egg. Look how surprised she is. And the people came shouting, "What's all this about?" They looked and they stared with their eyes popping out. Then they cheered and they cheered and they cheered more and more. They'd never seen anything like it before. "My goodness, my gracious," they shouted, "my word. It's something brand new. It's an elephant bird. And it should be It should be like that. Because Horton was faithful. He sat and he said. He meant what he said and he said what he meant. See Horton with the baby? And look at her all jealous in the corner. And all the people watching. And they sent him home happy 100%. He went home with his baby and everybody, all his friends looking. The end.